Hey everybody, welcome to It's Real with Jordan and Demi. Alongside Demi Ramos, I'm Jordan Edwards. It is 6 p.m. Eastern, which is pretty late for us to start the show, and it's 10 p.m. UK time. And the reason we say it's UK time because today's guest is from the UK. And so we'd like to welcome her to the show, Maisie Peters, everybody.
Maisie.
Hey!
Maisie, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you guys?
We are excellent. Excellent. So what are you up to on a Thursday night besides doing a little live stream for an American show?
It's a classic Tuesday night for me. I was in the studio today. I was actually with a guy called Justin, who's in one of my favorite bands called The Vaccines. And yeah, we were working together today, which was really fun. And I've been a big fan of his band for a long time, so that was very cool. And then I came home and had some dinner with my housemates and had a cup of tea, and now I'm here.
That sounds great. Vaccines, amazing band. That's
amazing.
Really exciting. Yeah, we were just curious. We thought you might have had a studio break while you were available on a Thursday night like this. Thanks for joining us. First of all, your new single, John Hughes Movie, is out now. It's doing really well. I believe it's the first of your singles to chart in the UK charts. Is that correct? There's the cover right there.
There I am. Yes, that was correct. I think it was like 92 for a minute, which was very exciting. I've never been even slightly there. So 92 is big.
And obviously this is kind of an ode to teen nostalgia and those great 80s movies. So tell us about a little bit where the song came from.
Sure. So I wrote it when I was probably about 17. And it was about a house party I went to when I was 16. And it's obviously just a very dramatic retelling of my suburban teenage experience. And, me going to my party and seeing that my crush is there kissing someone else. And I'm very upset. So I walk home in my silly little heels because I'm not wearing my Adidas because I'm so embarrassed. And yeah, it's really was like a really dramatic, emotional retelling of that. And then I kind of had it and I loved it for all these years. And then it just felt like the right time to release it. With the album coming out, I wanted it to be like the first big bang of the album. So it got we reproduced it and then it was born.
Well, congratulations on everything.
The hook of that song and the videos. So Jordan's a music video filmer. How would you say that, Jordan?
Director.
Yeah. And I don't know, that video is so unique to me. It felt like I was watching a movie with the burn book at the end. Mm-hmm. Like I couldn't turn away from it. I was wondering, how did the concept of this video come about?
Yeah, thank you so much. I love this music video. I'm really glad you like it. It basically, I knew I wanted to do something that was kind of shocking. And I knew that it was going to have sort of cinematography and the colors of a John Hughes movie, obviously, because that was the tribute. But then I also just was like, I want to do something shocking and something that people wouldn't expect, hence the death. And I was like, okay, if we do murdering, I make it kind of like violent and Quentin Tarantino-esque. And then from there, I worked with an amazing director called Lubos, and we kind of just created more and more ideas. We had the zombie boys on the skateboards, and we had the pulling out of the heart with the cheerleading, like an Indiana Jones thing, the cheerleading. And I've never danced before in a music video. I'm not a dancer,
it was so
but
cool.
I really wanted to go for it. So yeah, we ended up like creating this crazy thing, and we filmed it in a day, which was insane, but it was so fun, and I love it.
So the obvious follow-up question, Maisie, is what is your favorite teen movie? Like, or specifically John Hughes, or a teen movie in general?
I'll answer both. My favorite John Hughes movie is Ferris Bueller. But my favorite movie ever is 10 Things I Hate About You. So both of those are sort of like the blueprint for this song.
Dope,
you also said you said something about having tea tonight, and that was the most British thing I've ever heard. And I wanted to know, what's it like growing up in the UK? What's that like?
Fun, I would say I've never grown up anywhere else, but I would say it's good. Everyone is very, I would argue to the most point, cynical and grounded, which I personally enjoy. And I grew up in a very small town, so it was a lot of cows, and there was like one bus, and one shop. But it was a great time.
I was curious, when you were growing up, were you encouraged to have a quote unquote normal career, or did your parents encourage your music and your art?
No, I was encouraged. I have really wonderful parents. They're not in music at all. My dad's a teacher and my mum works in communications, but they were both super encouraging and very supportive of me and my sister just doing whatever makes us happy, really. And I loved music, and I was making music and gigging and playing, pubs, and I was busking from a very early age. And they were always just very much like, if it's something you want to do, then go and do it. Like, we're not going to stop you. And luckily it worked out for me.
One time, one of my all-time favorites of yours is Worst of You. I think that was 2018. And it's kind of like your toxic relationship anthem. And I wanted to know two things. Can you tell us about this song and writing it? And is that person still in your life?
No. Yeah, so I wrote that song after, actually, funnily enough, I realized today, I wrote it the day after I wrote John Hughes' movie. And the song, it was the first song I did with a friend of mine called Fred, who goes by Fred Gibson, and we've now worked together a lot. So I would love that song always because it marks like the start of our friendship. It was the first day we met and our first collaboration. And yeah, I think we went in and we were sort of singing around various ideas, and then that whole chorus just came pretty quickly, and then the rest of the song came super quickly. I don't even really remember writing it. I feel like it just was like a sort of channeling of sort of just one long monologue and just onto the page.
You mentioned busking, and you busked in. You're not from Brighton originally. You were born in Brighton, but you kind of came up in Brighton. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So tell us about this busking experience. What kind of, were you right by the beach, and what kind of songs did you sing? Like, tell us about that whole part of your life.
Yeah, super fun. So I grew up, I was actually born in Brighton, but I grew up in a small town nearby. And then I would go to Brighton on the weekends, and I would busk on the seafront. I would busk in the lanes, which are these kind of like cobblestone, ye old streets full of shops. I'd busk in the city centre, and I'd just be there with my little busking amp, and I'd just set up and sing for a couple of hours, covers and originals and literally anything anyone wanted. And yeah, just sort of like make some money. I used to sing Disney covers outside the children's library, so children would dance and parents would feel bad and have to give me their money. Awesome. So I was obviously enterprising.
How to take advantage of their parents too.
Very much so. I was cutthroat back then. Woman. Yeah.
I came across something on YouTube. Okay. It's called Maisie and Ellen Save Your Sad Girl Summer.
Yes.
All right. And if anybody hasn't seen it, it's sort of your kind of like, Jordan knows this. It's like Call Her Daddy. It's like a girls just chat room. Have you heard of Call Her Daddy?
I have heard of Call Her Daddy.
It reminded me of Call Her Daddy, and I'm obsessed with that. That's how I started loving podcasting. Tell me about can we expect a Maisie and Ellen Call Her Daddy edition podcast coming soon?
Wow, that would be very iconic. I think maybe one day if we live closer to each other, because we currently don't live. She lives in Nottingham. She's at university, and I'm in London. But I mean, that was so fun. Yeah, we did like a kind of like agony aunt thing, and we did like a couple episodes, and it was super fun. So yeah, definitely again, one day we'll bring back Save Your Sad Girl Summer. I think we'll do like another series.
You have to. I was loving it.
Potentially.
Me and my little sister were watching it. We were like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Ellen gave some savage advice in that. I remember being like,
She's a savage.
You had a song, Smile, which appeared on the Birds of Prey soundtrack recently. How did you get that song on that soundtrack? And it fit perfectly in with the movie and the rest of the soundtrack. Did they pick that up after you recorded it? Or tell me about how that song came to be on that movie.
Yeah, super fun. So I heard that the movie was being made. And somebody at my record label mentioned it and was like, oh, they're looking for songs, and just sent me like the email brief they send around to everybody when they're doing these things. They send a brief that's like, we're looking for songs like this, sort of like empowerment anthems, think Cardi B, think Rihanna. And I just thought it sounded super fun. So I texted my friend Ben, who's a producer who goes by 2H Punch, who's super good. And we just went into the studio for a day and basically tried to write a Cardi B song just for fun. And it came out and it was Smile. And it actually used to have a sample of Cher going, my mom told me to marry a rich man. And I said, Mom, I am a rich man. But we actually took it out for copyright reasons. And yeah, I just sent it off to the label. And I just sent, and I was like, here's a thing if you want it. I kind of expecting no one to even look at it because it was just me. And yeah, they really liked it, and they just kept on getting approved, and then it was in the film, which was crazy.
Yeah, you're alongside not only you, and a Doja Cat song leads it off the soundtrack off, so you're in good company there. That's
very
good. You know, things are starting to open up a little bit more, especially in Europe and Australia, especially like Australia. The island countries have kind of figured it out, and you are scheduled to play All Points East in the UK in August. How do you feel about this whole venturing back out into the world and playing festivals and shows again?
Oh my God, amazing. I'm so excited to play shows. I was announcing All Points East this morning, and I was like, I can't even believe I'm announcing this. Like, it feels too good to be true. So
there's a lineup right there with Foles and Bicycle Club and Caribou. Great lineup.
Amazing. Yeah, such a great lineup. I love so many of these people. Yeah, it feels too good to be true. So I am touching wood a lot of the time, but I'm so excited to play live. Oh my God, I've missed it so much. And I feel like it's such an important part of what I do and what I signed up to do. And yeah, I just cannot wait until I'm back on any stage. I'll play to anyone. I don't care.
You describe your music as emo pop, emo girl pop. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
You made that up. You made that term up.
I did. I coined it.
I mean, that's like, okay, like tell us how did you come up with that? Did you grow up listening to emo music? Like, how did you come up with that?
I did. I think it's hilarious. Like, I get asked about this all the time, and I think it was just a random thought I had one day that I just mindlessly tweeted. But yeah, I grew up listening to My Chemical Romance and Fall Out Boy and All Time Low. And so I definitely used to, I think that was definitely a lot of the foundation of my music sort of obsession was those bands and the lyrics in those bands, and the sort of dramatic emotion is so amazing. And I actually think I really have carried that across. But emo girl pop really is just a sort of like a tongue-in-cheek way of describing the music I make. It's kind of dramatic. It's pop. I'm a girl. That's, those are the main pillars of it.
Your music is very pop oriented. Do you see in the future, like maybe since you love that kind of music, adding some harder guitars, some more pounding drum kit type things?
100%. I mean, I have so many songs that do like stuff like that, and unfortunately they just can't all come out. But I would love to kind of do an album one day that's, much more rooted in that, and really go to town and work with people that have done that their whole life. I'm really good friends with the guys in All Time Low, and we are planning on doing some stuff together at some point because they're wonderful. And I think that'd be so fun.
That'd be sick.
I mean, going back to the emo thing, it's like Sad Girl Summer. Your expression lyrically is really super to the point. You know what I mean? You're not like, it's not like metaphors all over the place. Like, I know what she's saying. I can relate to it. And so many girls can relate to what you're saying with your writing style. And I wanted to know, for example, like in The One for John Hughes movie, do you believe in, like, the end of the hook line is, "You're not the one"? How is that? Do you believe in the one? Is there a one?
Wow, big question. No, I think you can have multiple ones. I think that it's an insane thought that you could only have one, and you would have to meet them. And there's billions of people in the world, so you'd have to meet your one out of only like a couple thousand that you meet in your life. So no, I think you can have multiple ones for different points of your life, for different purposes.
There you go. What would be your dream guy?
Yeah, what's your ideal guy?
We're going deep.
What's my ideal guy? Oh my God. Okay, let me give this a think. I mean, Heath Ledger in 10 Things I Hate About You, when he gives her the bass guitar at the end of the film. If a boy wants to give me a bass guitar, I'm personally up for that.
So you like long-haired rocker dudes?
I'm anyone with a heart of gold is fine by me, and a driver's license.
Take notes, boys. Take notes. Write this down.
One thing that really, you had a huge, let's talk about 2020. Now, a lot of people, really took advantage of having all this time to themselves, and your career really, your streams went up, your popularity went up. How did you spend your 2020, and why do you think that period was so successful for you?
Interesting. Thank you. I think I honestly, I spent a lot of 2020 writing, so much of 2020 writing, really. Writing a lot on my own, which was something I hadn't done for a while. I spent a lot of 2020 talking to people. I spent a lot of 2020 just, I mean, mainly working and writing, I think. And, you know, the pandemic has meant everything is online these days, which is a blessing and a curse, but it means that you're able to do so much from home. You know, I can do all of my promo from home. We're now set up to sort of talk to everyone across the world. So I really just had my head down for a lot of it and was just really working on making a great album and talking to as many people as possible.
Maisie, I think you're 20 years old, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, how into you are, let's just talk about social media for a second. The TikTok, the Instagram, you're an artist, you're a writer, you do so many things. And it's kind of like, do you enjoy having to put yourself out there all the time on social media?
I think interesting.
I mean, you started from YouTube, but I feel like that was a hobby for you, right?
I did, but also I think obviously there's times when you wish that you were maybe, less prominent on the internet. But for the most part, I love social media. I think TikTok is the funniest place on the internet. I think Twitter is amazing. I love Instagram, and I think that I've kind of grown up in a world of the internet. And I came from YouTube. I came from having internet friends and YouTube friends who I'm still friends with now. So I think, it can be hard work and it can be draining, and sometimes you can want to take a step back. But for the most part, I think it's really funny and great. And I love being able to talk to fans and like be in group chats with them and just sort of have jokes. I'm a big fan of jokes, and the internet is great for them.
That's the strange thing about sorry, Demi, go ahead.
No, that she started on YouTube, which is pretty cool. And then something went viral, and it's like the story.
Yeah. We were talking about this huge 2020 that you had. And the strange part about it is that you haven't been able to make your public appearances, do festivals, do shows, sign autographs and crowds. So it's going to be strange for you that you weren't as well known, a year and a half ago compared to what you are now. So that'll be a whole nother world to you. Are you prepared for that? Yeah,
I guess that's true. I hadn't really thought about that. I think so. I guess we'll see what happens when it happens. But I think it's going to be fingers crossed, a good world when we all come out of this and we can see each other again and go to shows and go to gigs. I have high hopes that everyone's going to be so grateful and so happy to be there that it's just going to be like the nicest time ever. So I'm excited.
And the crown of this past year, was getting the Taylor Swift cosign. Yes. Oh, that face says it all. There's the tweet. I'm a huge fan. Now this was specifically about you recreated Taylor Swift's Exile in only an hour, and Taylor loved it apparently. So tell us about why only an hour? What was this for? Tell us about this whole situation.
Yeah. Oh my God. Best day of my life. So Griff and myself are good friends, and she just reached out and she does this series called, Under the Clock, something to do with that. Don't quote me on that, but she has to do a song. You have to do a song in under an hour. So I literally just rocked up on the day to the studio. We decided what we were going to do when we were there. There was no rehearsals. There was no pre-planning, but we're both just massive Swifties. And it was near when Folklore came out. So we're like, let's do Exile. And yeah, we did it in an hour. We recorded it. It was done. I didn't really think much of it. As in, it was coming out and that was super fun. And it came out. And then, I think the day after, Taylor tweeted that and I lost my mind. And so did Griff. We just FaceTimed each other and screamed for like a solid 10 minutes. And then that was it. But I'm the biggest Swiftie ever. Absolutely. I think actually objectively ever. So it was the best day of my life. I will never have a better day than that.
What is your favorite Taylor Swift era? The country Taylor Swift, the dance pop Taylor Swift, or the more recent kind of singer-songwriter cottagecore Taylor Swift?
I mean, all are great. I love all of them. Maybe, what's my favorite era?
I'm a big Red fan. I like Red.
Yeah, I'm a big Red fan. I think my favorite albums, it's very hard to tell though. I'm a big like Speak Now era fan, but I'm also, I love Folklore. It's like if I asked Taylor Swift to make me an album, she would have made me Folklore. So it's kind of perfect for me. But I love, and 1989 is obviously incredible. I'm, as I said, a big Taylor fan all around.
Could you imagine a tour maybe in the future brewing, opening for Taylor Swift? possible?
I mean, that would be my dream. That would be the happiest 6 months of my life. I would literally never top it. I could do my own tour in stadiums and be like, not as good as the Taylor one though. So no, maybe, who knows? Maybe one day that would be the best time ever.
You seem like you enjoy collaborating on different songs and stuff. Do you enjoy that more than doing stuff by yourself? Do you like having co-writers? Do you like having producers and singers to collaborate with?
I really enjoy both. I love collaborating. I love co-writing with like one or two other people. But I also really love working on my own. And I think they both really complement each other. I think I worked a lot on my own last year, and it really fed into my collaborations and made me a much better, more confident co-writer, which is great. So I really like both. I would love to do an album in the future that's 100% just written by me. But for now, I'm super happy working with friends and making stuff together. I think that's also really fun.
The Sad Girl Summer video had some of your closest friends, was it?
Yeah.
And I mean, y'all were just straight chilling. Are your friends supportive of your career? Because I know you're still, are you in school? How does that feel to be doing what you're doing at this age?
Yeah, they are. They're very sweet. They're very supportive. I live actually in a house with 5 of them.
No way.
Yeah.
Is it like an artist house?
Yeah.
No, it's a student house. They all go to university, and none of them do music.
God.
Yeah, I'm in like a what would you guys call it? Like a sorority. Not really a sorority, but I guess that's the equivalent. But yeah, so they're all very supportive, but none of them do music, so they're all very like, great, Maisie. Like, I don't know what you spend all your time doing, but like your songs sound nice. Like they hear me singing upstairs and they're like, that sounded nice. And I'm like, thanks, guys. But yeah, they're very supportive. And I'm actually playing this festival, All Points East, which is really close to where we live. So I think we're all going to go and they'll get to actually see me perform, which they've never seen before. So that should be fun.
Do you have a good like recording setup in there? Do you at least have some kind of like laptop, little mixer board? Like what do you got going on in there in terms of how you can make music in your bedroom?
I do. That was definitely a pandemic thing. Very early on in the pandemic, I kind of was like, right, I've got to sort myself out. So I've got like a little keyboard, I've got Logic, I've got a laptop set up, and I just kind of like tinker around on my own. I mainly just record kind of like guitar vocal demos for friends of mine, and I send them out and we kind of do stuff like that. But yes, I definitely want to get better at producing in the next couple of years. Right now, I'm too impatient and I've got too much to do. And I write too many songs to be bothered to spend ages producing them. But one day I would definitely like to sort of be a more competent producer and, produce my own records and produce other people's would be really cool.
You seem so like, for some of the artists we have on here, absolutely bonkers. And I'm like, she's so put together. Like she's so articulate. And I'm like, there has to be this crazy side of you. She lives in a house of 5 girls, once 12 p.m. or a.m. hits, shit must go crazy. What does it look like? What's your life look like on the weekends outside of music? Who are you outside of all this business stuff?
Maisie we're having technical difficulties. Let's go. We'll see if she can get back on here. She can come back on.
It was a great frame when she was on.
That was she at least she had a nice smile when she froze. Awesome. There she's back on. Maisie, sorry about that, Maisie. We got you back.
Sorry, my fault. Internet debatable. But I'm back. Hello. There you go. There's the chaos. You were like, you seem so put together.
Yes, I was wondering, what are you like on the weekends when you have a few beers? Like, what are you like outside of Maisie, the artist, the business girl? Like, tell me everything. Who is she behind the music?
Wow. I mean, is there a Maisie behind the music? Who knows? I am pretty full time. But no, I would say actually hilariously in my house, I'm on the more chaotic side. We actually we sort everyone in this house and everyone in the world into winners and funners. And I am a funner. You can have a think about what you are if you think you're a winner or a funner. It's very different.
What do they mean, winner and funner?
It's kind of up to interpretation. It's more of a gut reaction. Like, are you a funner? Are you a winner? I'm trying to think of examples here for you. But it's difficult.
It's a UK phrase. We're in New York.
It's an hour house phrase. It's not global. It's very much our house.
Gotcha. All right. Well, wait. Like, yeah, she does have some, at least she has some great lighting when her picture freezes. We will see if she can come back in a second. Are you a funner? Or I'm going to look this
That's
up.
some new shit.
I'm going to look funner or winner up. We'll see what that actually means. Okay, so the last thing we wanted to talk about, and hopefully Maisie can come back on the stream here in a second, get the internet worked out, but she does have a book club. Now, Demi, you're a big Oprah fan. Oprah has the Oprah Book Club. So, oh, there she is.
I'm so sorry. I'm back.
It's okay. The last thing
she's playing hide and seek with us.
The show is almost over, but we want to ask you about your book club, the Maisie Peters Book Club. Tell us about the Maisie Peters Book Club.
Yes. So Maisie Peters Book Club started almost a year ago, I think. And I read a lot. I always have. And I think actually one of my fans said, you should start a book club or you should talk about the books you read more. And I was like, that's an amazing idea. So we essentially started this book club where we read a book every month. And then I get to interview the author, which is super hard and stressful and scary because authors are very professional people. And if you can't tell, I'm vaguely chaotic, although you guys seem to think I'm put together. So that makes me feel better. But yeah, so I interview the author at the end of every month and we talk about the book and the process and kind of analyze it and analyze them and how they write, which is really interesting to me as a writer as well, obviously. And yeah, it's been going for almost a year, which is crazy and has been so good, but really challenging, which I think has been interesting and important.
Are you a voracious reader? Are you reading constantly? Do you go through like a book a week or a book a few days or something?
Sometimes, yes. It really depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I go through real phases and I'll go through just like books on books on books. But it depends how busy I am, I guess. And if I'm kind of reading something I really love. If I'm reading something I really love, I'll tend to finish it super quickly because I'm just like, I'm too impatient to wait. But yes, I've definitely gone through phases.
And who's your favorite writer? Do you have a favorite writer?
I don't know if I have a favorite writer. I have favorite books. My favorite books I have two. I have The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald and The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Those are my two favorite books. I
was curious if you were going to go modern or more like Bronte sisters, you know.
No, I'm more of a modern novel than an older one. I'm too impatient for the language of trying to dissect.
I want to join your book club. How can we all join your book club?
Yeah, here, plug it. Plugging
away. Okay, it's so easy. It's just on Instagram. Just give it a follow. It's MP Book Club. And all of the resources are there, the books, we talk, the interviews, we do like fun playlists, we do kind of interactive things, and it's for all types of readers. It doesn't matter if you finish the book or not. It's just fun, and it's just it's like the nicest corner of the internet. I swear, it's so cute.
Sounds great. Oh, sounds great. Sounds super nerdy, and super fun.
That's exactly what I am.
She's a funner.
Maisie Peters, super nerdy and super fun. Yeah.
Yeah, nerdy funner. That's me.
Oh yeah, there's the Instagram handle for the book club right there. So appreciate that. All right, Maisie, we will let you go. Have a good night. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and good luck on your future endeavors.
Thank you guys so much. What a fun time. Amazing.
All right. That was Maisie Peters. And Demi, she seems like the kind of person that you'd be friends with.
I'm definitely joining her book club. And my question for Jordan is, Jordan, are you a funner or are you a winner?
I hope I'm a funner. Maybe I'm not.
Can you be combination? I wish I could ask her. Can you be a combination of them?
Yeah. I'm going to look this up now. I hope
but they're both good. It's like
I want to see I wonder if those phrases have like an Urban Dictionary entry. Yeah.
I love the UK, man.
Yeah. All right. So that will do it for us here on It's Real with Jordan and Demi. As always, you can go to popdust.com for an archive of all our past shows. You can follow me on Instagram at Jordan Edwards Studio and Demi at Demi_Ramos. So until next time, we will see you later.